antlers, assumptions, and artillery. It was a thoroughly cleaned and still so hot from his shower as to be steaming barn that plopped on the couch later. Days where he got his brand renewed were always at least partially lazy. Even if the pain went as quickly as it came, it was still exhausting to the bones to be branded. Once you got through the fight or flight responses and let yourself settle, you sank into exhaustion. A pair of very large and very soft pressures lay upon his head. "You're rarely this out of it when awake," Holly muses. "Rarely," he agrees. "Do you even know whose breasts are on your head?" she asks, and after a few moments he reaches up and begins fondling them. There is no sound made at his movements, as the owner of those breasts is instantly gagged by her sister wives. "Fine fur. Not you, Holly. Close to skin. Silken doesn't narrow it down. Salas and Irma have the shortest fur," he mutters, and there's muffled giggling. His hand then moves up, and he smirks. "Tuft of fur between breasts. My fingers sink all the way in before poking the chest. It's Irma." The giggling increases as Irma leans all the way over and smiles at him. "Sleepy man can still tell?" "Sleepy man has no shame to stop him from telling," he replies, and she lets out a slight laugh. She then hops over the edge of the couch and sits beside him to cuddle up. He leans back and she outright coos. "How did you go so damn cute when sleepy?" she demands as he outright nuzzles. "Can't talk. Sleepy." He mutters with a slight grin and she shakes him a little, but he only leans more against her and pins her to the couch with a cuddle. The big man using the bunny woman as a living plush toy. Holly just smiles as Lil, Salas, and Vera try to either pry him off from Irma or try to join her in the massive cuddle. After about a minute of futile struggling, Holly does the merciful thing and reaches down to help them up. She then lets out a huff of amusement as all three girls pile in with Irma, and the movement rouses Bjorn. He nods up a bit and notices he's got an armful of amused furry woman. He then starts leaning to the other side, and Holly hops into place. "He's really out of it," Salas says in mild wonder. "You girls don't see this often." "Nor do I really. He'd just pull an axiom on other days to hide it, but, well," Holly trails off. "He's trusting us more," Holly says. After showing you that, why not?" Bjorn mutters. "Saw me at my lowest. Was a risk, not if I wasn't strong enough." "He can tear ships out of the sky, and he's worried about being strong enough," Vera mutters. "Course, big galaxy, so many things. Never strong enough." "No strength is enough," Bjorn mutters before seemingly to hear himself and squirming before pulling on the axiom hard to wake up. The limpness of his limbs harden into purposeful strength, and he rises up straight. "Sorry, dozing off." Holly tries to pull him back down. "You're allowed to. In fact, you're under direct orders to. Doze off and relax, soldier, on the double." "I was muttering, wasn't I?" he asks, and she sighs. "It's all right that you can't protect me from everything. I feel safe around you. That's safe enough," Holly assures him, and he hunches on himself a bit. "We're in this together. Relax." He lets out a breath and then lets her pull him down. "Are all humans like that?" Lils asks. "A lot," Bjorn admits. "It's usually the ones that don't want to be better that you have to watch out for." "Really? If you're too proud to admit you have faults, then you're too proud to be reasoned with," Bjorn says. That's more universal than anything." Holly says, thinking about how hard her body is. Yes, she's strong, but what good is strong for comforting a little girl? For cuddling a loved one? For helping the herd beyond destroying its enemies? I mean, look at me. Big scary girl who wants a family. Barely more than a girl myself. I mean, how the heck am I holding a company together without a proper degree in accounting? Irma asks as she cuddles closer. They've got the talent, and I'm just barely holding things together. What are we doing, some kind of strange confessional? Lils asks. More opening up, Irma says. You know, showing trust, showing weakness, getting closer, that kind of thing. The three Lirac look to each other a bit, and a bit of communication passes between them. Maybe tomorrow. It looks like there's a lot of being open, and humans like to do things deeply personal, Vera says before rising up. She gives Bjorn a kiss on the brow. There's no point telling you to calm down or stop pushing so hard, is there? Maybe if you just want to hear your own voice, Bjorn says, and she considers. Well, I do have a nice voice. She teases him and he chuckles. All right, so Irma is getting all closey close for now. Fine, let's go, Salas says. Spill us the details later. Irma, if it's time to get close, that's great. You get first swing, but we're coming up after. Deal, Irma says, even as Salas nuzzles Bjorn before stepping away and up. See you soon, big man. Try not to scare our bunny too badly, Lil says as she scooches out of his arm and rises up. We'll make sure we're not shedding too badly. Did the corporal's words hit that deeply? Bjorn asks in an amused tone. Yes and no. The reason I have a nice little puff to my fur like Vera is that our fur isn't shedding because we don't heat ourselves up like Salas, Lil says, even as she brushes all three of them with a wave of her tail. See you soon, handsome man, sisters. With that, the three girls move through the apartment and leave the three of them together. Holly reaches around Bjorn a bit and holds Irma close. Am I going to have to start putting on muscle now? Irma asks, and Holly laughs in amusement. No, but if you want to join us at the gym, you're more than welcome to, and have been for quite a while, Holly says gently. Thanks, but, Hey, Bjorn? Yeah? What did you actually expect when you left Cruel Space? Did you come out here thinking you would die? Irma asks, and Bjorn's silence is disquieting. Wow. I had no idea. It could have been anything. We expected all sorts of things, including up to that simulation you saw, or something like it at least. What do you mean? A lot of us thought we'd be going back to Earth in life pods or stolen ships, thinking that Cruel Space was a protection, that the death, the void, the emptiness, the great darkness, or whatever nickname you want to give to that massive null repository, was our shield, a protective cloak. Knowing that there was alien life and we had been found had been every dream and nightmare come true at once. It could mean anything. It could mean everything. And it did. Bjorn says, so yes, I did expect to find death. And while I myself have not been part of much of it, I expect it still. Even if you live a peaceful life, death will be part of it. Well, Cruel Space is at the end of the biggest axiom lanes in the galaxy. So if it wasn't a null repository, it would have been in prosperous space tens of thousands of years ago. Early Bronze Age, Bjorn notes. But humans would have developed with the axiom instead. Holly considers, which would have made you more like Tretz. Actually, there was an extinction event that wiped out the previously dominant life. Something like a Canador-scale theropod would have possibly evolved instead. Humans wouldn't exist if not for the null. Bjorn says before chuckling. And isn't that strange? The thing that is death to almost everyone gave life to a species all its own. Then I'm thankful for it. If not for that huge chunk of screamingly deadly null, I wouldn't have had your people to pull me out of hell, and you to keep it far away from me afterwards. Holly says, holding him close. You're strong enough. You're not the weak link here. Nor are you, Bjorn says. Am I? Irma asks, and Bjorn scoffs. No, I'm the protector, though. First and finest defense of the family. He says, if it's up against the world, against the galaxy, it has to be me that stops it. Me that it can't get past, can't get through or around. That is too high a standard, Holly says. That's the point. You don't get better, you don't be better by saying you've done good enough. You do it by striving for something you might never reach, by trying and trying even if you fail and fail. I showed you all how weak I really am today, and you're still here. The other three want to plan it out to get closer, but you, Holly, and you, Irma, have both clung closer instead. Oh, they wanted to worm closer. Don't doubt that. They just wanted to give me the chance to make that first move. Don't doubt that they want in. You're weakest? Stronger than legends. You doubt yourself too much, Irma says. I'll bet even now they're thinking and rethinking how to make things just right. Some big silly plan with coordinated outfits and the right moves and things set at the exact right time to make it just right. Then they'll come to a revelation about something. And what is that? Bjorn asks. A little something they keep reminding their own clients. While the outfit, the walk, and the talk can add an extra spark or fan the fire of a relationship, it's all the things between that build it. They'll go in circles, sew themselves a few outfits, try some new looks. Then they'll end up doing something that you can all feel comfortable doing. Really? I must have missed that bit in their lessons, Holly says. You didn't need it. With your man all the time, strong and soft with him, playful and serious. You've got all his faces and are right there with him the whole time. Honestly, if you weren't already in a relationship, we would have started a betting pool of how long until one started, or who and where your hidden boyfriend was. Irma tells Holly, who smirks in response. And what was that going to look like, she asks. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. The way you're so close to him and how at ease you two are around each other. You were either siblings that the parents needed to separate or lovers. This isn't Game of Thrones. There's no sibling incest happening here, Bjorn says, and Irma giggles, even as she cuddles up and her forearms intertwine around both Bjorn and Holly's outreaching arm. She rests her golden blonde head with cream-colored fur against Bjorn's head. We get into some weird topics when we start talking, she says. That we do. Holly agrees, then she lets out a pensive sound. Bjorn? Yeah, that education deal I have with the Undaunted. Will it extend to Irma? She asks, and he lets out a pensive sound. I'm not sure. You do multiple lessons for other Undaunted citizens, but Irma and the girls own a private business in another arcology entirely. You don't have to. I'm making it work as is. It's just, well, it was time to open up, and that's something I worry about, Irma assures them. Holly's grip on Irma grows a little firmer as Bjorn pulls her a little closer. Although, to be fair, there's basically no room left between them at this point, so it's not much closer. We're in it together. Your problems are our problems. If we can't solve them outright, then we work through them. Together. That's what a herd does, Holly says. That's what family does, Bjorn adds. And I'll get to talking to some people tomorrow. There should at least be some course recommendations that I can scare up. Provided, of course, you actually want a course, Irma, and the accounting isn't just something you're doing until you can get to doing something better. Well, yes and no, Irma asks. Oh? Accounting and any kind of business goes hand in hand. But, well, I'm good for making myself look good, not so much others. And what are you thinking about doing later? Well, after I help my best friends achieve their dreams, Irma begins, I think a flower shop would be nice. A little bit of beauty in the world that can be shared. Flowers? Holly asks. Yes, flowers. Did you know that almost every race has numerous different flower languages? Entire ways to talk to people based on the decorations or the gifts you give them. It's a beautiful thing about beautiful things. Irma gushes before relaxing. I want to make Zalwar more beautiful. It's a place that touches so many others. If Zalwar is beautiful, then the beauty spreads and the whole galaxy becomes a more beautiful place. But the first step is learning business and accounting. Is it a chance and Jon Guice, Bjorn asked, and seeing my friend's dream of making people beautiful happen. So yes, to any courses I can find, he asks. Absolutely, Irma replies.